Welcome. Use the built-in designer to write your page extensions. Hey, I'm Eric, and when Microsoft first introduced AL, they knew that some of this was going to be an uphill battle, because switching from C-side, from a UI, not the necessary drag and drop, but a UI driven development environment into a purely text based code driven environment would be quite a shock for a lot of people in the channel. And one of the things they did, and this is right from the very first version of AL, they tried to mitigate the shock by actually allowing you to use the designer. That if you go into BC as a user, you can use the designer to make page customization, but you can actually use that designer in your code to help you write your code inside Visual Studio Code. Write your code inside Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to show you how. So let's get right into it. Here is my Visual Studio Code. I just created a brand new empty extension here, and let's say that my purpose is that I need to redesign something. Maybe I need to redesign the customer card. So the way, and this is the way I think this makes most sense, is that I will grab my launch JSON, and I know that the customer card is card number 21, but if you can't remember it, you can always, not this one, but this one, take a look at the page, the base application, the pages in page application, and see that customer card is number 21. And if you can't get this, when you click on an app file up here and you don't see this, that's because you have not installed this one in your Visual Studio Code. So do yourself a favor, like the over 100,000 other, not people I guess, have done, and install this, because this will give you this capability. So I know now that page 21, that's the customer card. I can even check the code here by double clicking and see what the code is. I can right click and then open symbol, so I can see what symbols has been exported. Anyway, that's actually not the focus of this video, so don't let me get sidetracked. Anyway, I want to make changes to the UI of page 21. So this is the way I find it the easiest and the less likelihood of making weird changes, is if I always set up what page I want to edit now in the launch JSON. And then what I do normally, because I'm a keyboard warrior, I will hit F6. We can also go in here, and then if we find search for designer, we can see that publish and open in the designer. So if we do this, it will publish our app. And when starting designer from Visual Studio Code, let's read this one aloud here. Let me just move it up so you can see. When starting designer from Visual Studio Code, only the pages defined in the current extension and its dependencies are loaded. If the current user's role center is not part of the current extension or its dependencies, starting designer in the context of this extension will fail. Again, using this trick avoids all the will it work or will it not work. So this has been started, and I got, while we were waiting, I got this one. So notice that the debugger is not running. So right here, you can't really see anything different here. There's nothing down here, like when we play with the snapshot or so. So right now we have left Visual Studio Code, but that's okay. We're starting Designer, we're starting Business Central, and you can see the Designer is now running. So I can go in and say, hey, balance due needs to be before balance. And I don't care about total sales, so exclude from, maybe we can't do that. Let's see what options we have here. I can remove address 2 because nobody uses address 2. If I click more, I can say plus, and then let's add in name 2, because that's way more useful than address 2. So we'll add name 2 up here. Okay, now we made some changes. Nothing has happened in Visual Studio. So this is what we left it as, it's just sitting there. Well, when you're done, we can now say stop designing. It will ask us to finish up design and download and stuff like that. Ignore that. You just hit the X, and this session goes back to whatever it is. So at this point, we go back to Visual Studio Code. We hit Alt F6. So now you can see that now it's asking our BC for something. And we got a file over here. So if we take a look at the file we just got, let me make sure that this is big enough so you can see it. So now we got in our code a page extension saying that we're moved balance due to be after IC partner code. We have modified address 2 to be visible false. So there's an indentation gone wrong here, but we'll let that one pass. Add after IC partner code. We'll add name 2 after IC partner code. Interesting, I forgot what I did. So that's because, so let's go back here and show more. So we actually have IC partner code here. So I thought I put the field after name, because that was what I could see. But in reality, I added it after IC partner code because I forgot to use the show more. So it's probably a good idea to show more. Okay, so now it wrote a code, but you see, page extension, the naming convention here is not good. So let's change this to changes to customer card. How about that? That's a good name. And we'll just do changes to customer card here. That's pretty good, but we forgot to do something. So let's go back. So now I'll hit F6 again. So now we're starting and we're getting the same thing, and this time it's fast because, so now we're back in the designer. And I forgot, what did I forget? I forgot that, shipping advice, that's not helpful. So I'll remove that, and then I will actually, let's go into prices and discount and say the prices and discount overview. We'll put this into approve. Right. So now we have made a change to the menu, and we have we changed a field. So I'll again do the same thing. So I'll say stop designing, hit the X. Go back here to my Visual Studio Code, and I will hit Alt F6. Okay, so notice what happened here, that we changed the name of the file. We change the name of the object, but the AL compiler is clever enough, or perhaps not the compiler, but the thing is clever enough to say, you already have a page extension for that page. So whatever we did now, we're merging into the existing object. And we can see that we modified a, and this one is actually marked for removal, but hey. So we modified an action. We set the shipping wise to non-visible. So you don't have to, whatever file name and structure it makes, you don't have to use that. Let's see if we can, let's do one more. So we'll page changes, we'll create a folder and we'll put this in here. So now we are, this is starting to look like something we would perhaps have done by hand. But wait, we forgot one more thing we need to do on this page. So I'll hit F6 again. And I will add another field, because why not? What about territory code? That should clearly be after name too. We added another field. This might fail. What I'm gonna do now, it might not. So I've got a 50-50 chance on that. But let's go into something. Line discounts. Open. That's what I said. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let's see what happens now if we lost the thing. So we can now do Alt F6. See if we got something or not. We did. We got the territory code after IC partner code. So you see it was clever enough to say, okay, that went into the same spot. So we added it after the field that we already did. So it goes into the same spot. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to stay in the root. The file can sit wherever you want. So sometimes you can successfully make changes to multiple pages. Sometimes you cannot. So I usually, that's why I started saying that, hey, make the page that you want to change, or at least as close to one. So you see, let's go back to 22 here, and so that's the customer list. And I will help the world by closing out all these different ones. So we're logging into this one now. I think we lost that. You know what? Let's make this easy. Make sure there's no. I was almost spoke Danish there. Oh yeah, I just say, wow, yell at the screen when I hit deploy instead of designer. So now I'm hitting F6. Wow, that was not good keyboard. Okay. So this is looking slightly different. And what's different is that, so right now, this is locked. So if I were to do something here, you have previously personalized the customer's page. If you want to reload this page without the personalization, wow, changes, select unlock page. Sure. So now, because there were personalizations on the page saying, hey, you can't really customize based on personalization, because that would produce code when it says you move something and it might depend on something that has been moved by personalization, so the code would not work. And here there's actually, that's interesting, there's a layout bug here. So if I change the the scale of the page, we get back to having field action part name, but I guess that's a bug. So in this case, let's move phone after name before responsibility center, and then let's try to go here. No, it doesn't work. It's usually 50-50 now, and so far I'm 0-100 at this point. Anyway, let's see if it actually got the change we made to the list. So we can go back here, and then we can do Alt F6. Let's see what we got. We did get that, so it did catch the changes to the list. But as I was saying, my experience is that you gotta go and say where do you want to make customizations, and you might have more luck than I have in trying to customize multiple pages. It is possible, but you are running into this strange bug when it says that somebody has changed this, and then it bumps out. Anyway, that is the to use the designer in AL. Personally, I don't use it very much. I tend to look at the stuff that I want to do, and then I just write it out because I'm a code warrior. But if you have to make a lot of changes to a page, it's a great tool because you can visually see the result right away, and you get the code into your code base. And what I like most about this is the fact that if you already have an extension, page extension object somewhere in your solution, it will just add to that in a very non-destructive way, which is pretty cool in my book. Anyway, that's it for using the designer. If you got the need for more YouTube videos, this one is the one to watch next. That's a good one. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye.